Okay, hello everybody. Merry Christmas. Now, I want to start by saying thanks. Thanks to everybody who's put in judgment, effort, and sacrifice over the past 2 years, either by wearing a mask and social distancing and taking the vaccines and the boosters and taking the tests, or by refusing to do any such thing. Now, I want to remind you all that whichever side of this debate you're on, you've had to suffer equally through this crisis. In fact, the stress levels that you've been through over the past 2 years is a direct result of your level of conscientiousness. And further, that we're still divided over a matter of fact, not a matter of principle. Indeed, the governing principle behind the level of stress and effort that each side has suffered has been essentially equivalent. Now, for that reason, I believe that it's more important to recognize each other's commitments and resolve at this point, just as it seems that we need to escalate our level of involvement in our respective endeavors. We're not enemies, we're family and friends. I don't know any family that hasn't been divided over this issue, and it comes down to a simple question of whether we are or we're not being told the truth about COVID. And as I said, this is a matter of fact, not ethics, and not obligation. Now, I've got some updates for you. First of all, the Light newspaper. Here it is. Oops, well, that's coming out in reverse. Okay. This is, as far as I know, the one and only newspaper in my country which is telling the truth. Get hold of it if you can. There's some amazing articles. I've written to one of the journalists in there and he's written back. I've also met some of the people who distribute this in the southwest of England. So if you need a copy of the paper, it's actually online. If you go to thelightnewspaper.com, I think it's .com, you'll find it all there. Another thing, I've run into a group in my hometown, Plymouth, which are part of the global resistance movement. They've got a Telegraph page. You can find them at Freedom Fields Plymouth, I think, on their Telegraph page. Go and check that out. I'll be updating my own website with shouts out to them, and hopefully I'll be working closer with them in the future, which could be great for my own distribution and the content I'm able to give you. Okay, so over the next few weeks, weeks and months, I'm going to be gradually integrating 10 billion states with the larger movement, and I'll be moving things around on the site. As it is, I've decided to put a Redbubble order page on my site, which will allow you to mix and match the designs with the slogans. It's a little bit more complicated because then you're going to have to tell me what you want. I'll design it and put it on the site, and then you can go there and buy it. As I've said before, I'm a terrible designer, do need help with that. Come and work with me and we'll sort the money out. Not a big complication at all. And as I said, further liaison, pooling resources, we should start moving that along soon. All right. But merchandising is very important for me at the moment because I'm penniless and I'm couch surfing. Basically, my Universal Credit was stopped last November. They didn't tell me till December, and I've decided I don't really want to go back into that system because it's basically voluntary slavery and you can't give them the chance, Okay, so revenue, very important. Okay, it's also about time I sorted out the membership on the site because, again, recruitment's a possibility now. I'm in touch with more people. It doesn't really matter if I subsume the 10 billion states movement under the umbrella movement of the larger movement, or I subsume the larger movement under the umbrella of the 10 billion states movement. Because in the end, the final destination of the freedom movement is going to be something that resembles 10 billion states. Okay, now we're in an opportune stage at the moment. Now, when the internet first started off, everyone was just doing their own thing. Search engines were garbage. If you wanted to be found, your best bet was to get linked with somebody else and share your traffic. Now those times are back, and this is great. Google was a spike in service, but it led to corruption and finally to monopoly. And now, for the first time since, there's a concentrated and widespread effort to re-socialize the net. And we're looking at a new land race. Right now, the pioneers of the new world are carving up the future, and it's all up for grabs. So get your face out there and make your presence felt, because when the pieces fall into place, it's going to be the clearest thinking and most forward-looking data architects who set the foundation of the new internet. And right here is possibly the center of all. Okay, so a word on data design. 10 billion states is not fit for purpose yet. I need programmers now. And, right, I need the forums to work. I need the outreach automated. And I need to become the hub for debate. Simple as that. I need to do my job. I'm a political designer. I'm not a campaign manager or a website manager. And if you are, you need to call me right away. Please understand, if you haven't already, I'm not trying to make a lot of money. I'm trying to make all of it. Now, if you're going to come and get behind me, this is inexorably what we're going to do. So let's get started. All right, so right now, the product page doesn't look great. The merchandising, already mentioned, is a bit of a mess. The fora, not really working properly. And the production, well, this is the only production, and I've reached just under 300 people. So, you know you can do better. Come and do it with me. Right. Everybody out there, though, whatever you're doing, whatever you're watching, I need to hear about it. You need to send me links. I'll promote your work. Put a link to my site on yours and promote me as hard as you can. It's as simple as that. We have little chance of winning this war, but we have no place in a world where we don't win this war. So we've got nothing left to do but fight. So let's get on the front foot. Let's aim for the finance or the talent we need to reach the entire world with an alternative to national governments and steal their people right from out under them. They've abused their position and they deserve what we're going to do to them. 10 billion states is the definitive answer to the question of how we'll secure our freedom in a future world after we break everybody out of the lies. Because it places sovereignty in the hands of the individual in the realest way possible, not just in law, but with actual power. The buttons under our fingers. And the fate of us all dependent on the universal satisfaction of every one of us. So this is a campaign, people. Come and support me. If you even think we've got anything in common, promote me. And just let people decide, isn't it? I'll do the same for you. Get in touch with me for anything you want to promote. I'll try and mention you. And that's it. Hope this reaches you by or about Christmas. Hope you have a good one. And let's really go for it next year. All right? Thanks very much. Speak to you soon.